as essentially Christian fundamentalist barbarians from the uncivilized lands of the north. Crusades had a very deep impact on Arab society. One, they were seen as a barbarian incursion, and stories of those crusades are still told in cafes and in families as if they happened yesterday. This is something quite striking. And so whenever the West has invaded that region again, people say it's another crusade, which is why after the awful events of 9/11, when the American president inadvertently, one assumes, said we now have to wage a crusade to stop this, a shiver went down the collective spine of the Islamic world, because they felt they knew what was coming.
For almost 90 years, Jerusalem was under the claws of the Crusaders. While the Muslims awaited desperately for a ray of hope that would restore their honor. At last, divided Muslims found the one man who could defend their faith and honor, and under whom all Muslims could unite. He was known as Sultan Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. In 1187, Christian General Arnott attacked and robbed the Muslim caravans of the Hajj. When he was imprisoning and killing the Muslims, one of the Muslims asked, "How can you kill us when you have signed a peace treaty with us?" Arnott insolently replied, "Tell your prophet to come and save you." When the news of this incident reached Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi, he asked for the handover of the imprisoned Muslims along with those who were responsible for this incident. But the Crusaders refused to hand over the murderers. Hence, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi decided to go at war with them. This led to the Battle of Hattin. The huge Crusaders' army, including their knights, templars and hospitallers, were situated near a lake with an impenetrable fortification. Salahuddin realized most practical solution would be to draw out the Crusaders from their fortress, where it would be easier for the Muslims to break the enemy's defenses. Accordingly, the Sultan laid the bait for the enemy by laying siege to a nearby fortress where the families of the Crusaders were living. Hoping that the danger to their families would lure them out. The siege lasted for a few days until the enemy army was pressurized and they left their fort. Thus the main army, led by King Geoffrey and General Arnott, started an 8-hour journey to the fortress. The Crusades started their journey at noon, hoping that they would reach their fortress by sunset. The Muslims, on the other hand, had other plans. They slowed the Crusaders by attacking with their cavalry. Thus, by sunset, the Crusaders found themselves on top of the mountain of Hattin, away from their destination with no water and surrounded by the Muslims. Now the Sultan removed the siege from their fortress and deployed all his troops at Hattin. Thirst and hunger took over the Crusaders' army. In desperation, they tried to escape the mountain but were stopped by the Muslims' army each time. After 2 days of fighting, the Crusaders started losing heart. To make matters even worse for them, Salahuddin Ayyubi, after realizing the wind direction, ordered to collect firewood and set it on fire. So along with hunger and thirst, smoke also made the conditions worse for the Crusaders. Now Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi ordered to attack and the Muslims with full force attacked the enervated Crusaders. Soon the battle finished with the Muslims emerging as victorious. And the biggest insult which the Crusader received was that the cross which the Crusaders believed was used to crucify Prophet Jesus fell into the hands of the Muslims. Sultan killed Ornate with his own hands and took King Jafri as his prisoner. After 90 years, Muslim armies reached the gates of the Jerusalem to take it back. After 6 days of siege, the Christians surrendered. Earlier, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi had sworn that the day he takes Jerusalem, he would also slaughter the Crusaders the same way they had slaughtered the Muslims. But this warrior soon had his feelings under control, and did what the Prophet, peace be upon him, did when he captured Mecca. He forgave them all. They were allowed to leave with their wealth and were provided security by the Muslim army, and taken safely to the Christian fortress. The recapture of Jerusalem by Muslims spread as a shockwave across Europe. Immediately, the Pope made an emotional appeal for a third crusade. The call was answered, and hundreds of thousands of soldiers marched towards Jerusalem, but were defeated again by Muslims. Many crusades followed, but all crusades ended in failure of the Christians. On each passing day, the Muslims developed and became strong, under the caliphate of the Ottomans, who later on captured the whole of the Eastern Roman Empire. The honor of Islam was defended for centuries that followed, and Muslims reached the peak of science, architecture, and technology of the time.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول حي على الصلاة
But slowly Muslims became luxurious and materialistic, forgetting the legacy of their forefathers. The world became more important to them than their faith. The Muslims fought amongst each other and divided. Thus their decline was inevitable. Soon the world forgot the glorious Muslim civilization, the civilization that lays the base of modern development and technology. Now the golden age of human history is sadly known as the Dark Age.